Good morning, everyone. It's Beth Kozik from Elegant Greetings. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Grosse Pointe Woods, Michigan. It's Saturday morning and time for another catalog copycat cards. First, what I'd like to do is share the card that was made last week, this beautiful plaid card, which we made with a cutout. And I'd like to thank everybody who commented on both Facebook and on YouTube. I have all of your names here. Thank you for all of your lovely comments. So one of you is going to receive this card in the mail. So let's go ahead and select it. And our winner is Shirley G. Shirley, exciting. I'm going to mail that to you. I'll put it in Monday's mail. I hope you enjoy that. Today's card comes from our annual catalog, and as I was looking through, what caught my eye was this beautiful card on page 16, which is right here, made with the Beautiful Wishes stamp set. So this card, I'm always drawn to cards that have different color combinations, and this one really caught my eye. So we're going to go ahead and make my version of this card today. I don't know if you can see, but there is some actual heat embossing on there. The gold portions in the back behind the butterflies, that's actually heat embossed. So I'm going to show you how to go ahead and make that. All right, let's get started. Here are the supplies we're going to need for today. Well, first of all, here is the stamp set, Butterfly Wishes. This is one of the sets that Stampin' Up! Offers, which is a distinctive stamp set. So if you can kind of see this image, this image, this image, they're very lifelike the way that they're created. So they offer just a beautiful end result once they're stamped. So we're going to use this stamp set. We are going to, for embossing, we're going to use the Versamark pad, which is just a clear sticky ink, wonderful for heat embossing. And we have a coordinating punch that goes with this stamp set. It's called Butterfly Duet. So we're going to be able to stamp and punch out this image as well as that small butterfly. Our ink colors are Rich Razzleberry and Old Olive. We have this really pretty Old Olive and Pretty Peacock reversible ribbon. This was from our last catalog and it's been carried over. It's so pretty and sparkly. And then our paper, our cardstock, this is an 11 by 4 1/4. So this is one piece of cardstock cut in half lengthwise. And then we're going to score it at 5 1/2. And this color is the soft seafoam, which is beautiful. Our designer paper comes from the Gilded Autumn Suite, I believe it's called Gilded Autumn. And it is also in the green family and has this beautiful gold pattern on it. I just love that. And this is 5 1/2 by 4 1/4, so that's going to go right on top of our card. We have a piece of Whisper White, which is 3 1/2 by 4 3/4 inches. We have a scrap of Old Olive, which I think is 3/4 by about 2 1/2. That's for our sentiment. And then some extra pieces of white so we can punch our butterflies. Okay, I think we're ready to begin here. So first things, let me get all these things out of the way. All right, let's start by putting our card base together. And we're going to use our stamp and seal with our silicone mat, which makes for a perfect platform for our stamp and seal. We're going to put our seal all the way along the outside edges so we get a very nice finished edge. And the adhesive is all the way to each edge. Right, and that's going to go right on here. I like to start in one corner, make sure it's nice and straight. There we go. Okay, so that's going to be the front of our card. And then next we are going to take our piece of Whisper White. So here's where the fun part comes in with the embossing. Okay, so we want to make sure our piece of cardstock is nice and clean. And then we're going to emboss with this branch and leaf image. All right, so let me show you first of all our embossing powder. I like to put my embossing powders into a clear plastic container with a lid. And this actually happens to be large enough that an entire card could fit in it. So the embossing powder itself comes in a small container. So I like to have a separate container like this for each of my colors. So all I have to do is pop off the lid, use a spoon to put the embossing powder onto my project, and we're ready to go. And our embossing powders come in silver gold, white, and also clear. So we have a nice variety. So what I'm doing here is I'm simply inking up my stamp with the Versamark. So it's really hard to see, but it's just a clear, sticky ink. So there's really nothing much to see on the stamp itself. But we're just going to stamp this onto our cardstock. Now you won't see anything because it's clear. And I want to work rather quickly here because this will dry rather quickly. And we want to get the embossing powder added on before it actually dries. So I'm going to do just a few spots here. Okay, that looks good. Now I'm going to place it over my embossing powder and just generously sprinkle this on so you can see how it's sticking to all the places where I stamped with the Versamark. Okay, now to get the extra off, just turn it upside down and give it a little flick like that. Now if there are extras, you want to have a paintbrush, just a dry paintbrush handy, because all these little spots that are on the card will, once we heat it, those are going to show. So we want to remove as much of that as possible. Okay, that looks pretty good. Now we're going to heat emboss. And what I have is a piece of cardboard that I placed some aluminum foil on top of. And this is simply just to give a surface so that the heat doesn't transfer through to my work surface and potentially burn anything. Alright, this is our heat tool. It has two settings. I have it on the high setting, so it just takes a second to heat up. And I'm heating. Can you see it happening? This is the magic. So as soon as that heat is applied to the powder, it melts and we get this beautiful embossed image. And I'm just holding down the paper with the end of my paintbrush, so in case it moves around a little bit, I don't want it to go flying away on me. Isn't that the coolest thing? Embossing is just such a wow technique. Look at that. And if there's any darker spots, they just need to be heated a little further. And that's all there is to it. What do you think? I absolutely love heat embossing. So we're going to set that aside for just a second to dry. Isn't that gorgeous? And I like how the gold will be picked up on the background of that paper I selected. Okay, so there's that. And then I'm going to put away my ink. And then our stamp just gets cleaned like usual on our Stamp and Chamois. We're just going to clean all that ink off of there. Okay, next I think we will put our greeting onto our scrap. We're going to use Old Olive ink. And I love this saying. Isn't that beautiful? It was a perfect day because of you. So we're just going to tap, tap, tap and add our sentiment here. Just straight up and down stamping. We never want to rock. There we go. So there's that. And then our butterflies, we're going to use the rich raspberry ink. Now I've already made quite a few of them, so in the interest of time, I'll just make one to show you. So there's the large butterfly and the small butterfly. So I'll just show you how this works with the coordinating punch. I'm going to ink up and stamp one butterfly. And then our punch, once it's open, we can turn it upside down and then slide our cardstock right in, line it up, and punch. And there we have our butterfly. So I made several of those already, and I placed some little Stampin' Dimensionals. These minis are perfect for these tiny images that we want to add to projects. So again, dimensionals are these two-sided foamies. They have adhesive, so we can easily pop up things on our project. Okay, and then last we have our beautiful ribbon. So I'm going to cut a width, and sometimes the cardstock will bow just a little bit, and so I like to smooth that out. Okay, now for the ribbon, which side do you like better? The peacock or the old olive? I think the old olive. So we're just going to cut a width of that, a little bit wider than the project itself. And then I'm going to apply a little bit of adhesive on either side on the reverse, because I'm going to tuck this ribbon like this. There we go. Okay, very nice. And then let me see here. We have to put on we could place this onto our card with some more dimensionals. So I'll put one in the middle, sides. So this will pop up this entire piece on my card base. Okay. That's going to go right here in the middle. All right, and then our sentiment. Again, I think I'll pop that up as well. Can never have too many dimensionals, right? Oops, pulled the whole thing right off. Okay. Put that in the middle like that. And then finally, our butterflies. Let's see how they did it in the catalog here, how close we're going to be. Okay, so they placed the large one in the middle. Okay, so that one is tucked under just a smidge like that. And then these little guys, there's one up here on the top, right about there. And another one is here on the side branch. And then one final one is right down here on the bottom. And there we go. Look at that. So here's the catalog picture, and here's my version. And again, I chose a different designer paper. I didn't have this exact one, so I simply substituted. Isn't that pretty? Nothing like a little bit of sparkle on a Saturday morning, right? So if you'd like an opportunity to win this card, please comment on YouTube or on Facebook. I certainly appreciate all of your nice comments. And also, if I can help you with any of these or any other Stampin' Up! Products, please let me know. Thank you for joining me, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.